If you'd like to talk to Racquel after the show, call 614-886-7780. 886-7780. Now, once again, here's Racquel.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Racquel Ludaway, real estate consultant with Keller Williams Capital Partners, and I'm here talking with Jeremy Frase with Concord Mortgage Group and Jeff Mahler with Keller Williams Capital Partners. And before the break, we were talking about the different loan programs that Concord Mortgage Group offers. More particularly, we were talking about second homes, possibly an investment property, and we're going to continue that. Jeremy, you were explaining to me a little bit during the break of, how can you qualify for an investment property if that's something that you're looking to do?
Sure. So, typically, you don't. You can purchase an investment property at any time. You don't even need to own a primary residence to do so. I'm working with a client right now that he's renting, and he's going to continue to rent, and he's just had the opportunity to purchase a two-family home in the $60,000 price range, and the numbers just made sense. He's going to clear over $1,000 a month in rent on the two-family property, and he's going to continue to pay rent himself. Now, in his particular case, with it being a multifamily property, he did have to have 25% down, but it really, in order to qualify, your down payment's going to vary anywhere from 15 to 25%, and you have to have a minimum credit score of 640.
Okay, and you also have to be able to afford the payment at the residence that you stay in, and also the payment at the property that you're purchasing.
In that particular case, yes.
Okay.
You, as an investor, you have to own a property for at least 2 years as a first-time investor, and show that income on your tax returns before they'll take that into consideration when qualifying for the purchase of future homes.
Okay. And Jeff, you work with a lot of investors. Tell me a little bit about some of your experiences.
I do. In fact, about 8 years ago when I started out in the business, one of my very first investors was a gentleman who was purchasing basically a duplex for his daughter that was attending The Ohio State University. And it turned into something that was just going to be a one-time thing after the 4 years, or hopefully 4 years, that she was supposed to attend the university. We were going to get the listing back and put it on the market and kind of make a profit off of it. After about a year and a half, he noticed that more opportunities were coming up. It was back in the market where some of the foreclosure rates were starting to skyrocket a bit, but opportunity was striking for investors. So now it turned into, an event where we purchase property once a year, and now he has a total of 8 that started out as supplemental income and now funds his retirement.
So do you think it's a great time right now for investors?
Absolutely, yes. This is the time of year where I always kind of do the gearing up for my investors. So I touch base with them likely around September timeframe and just get them ready as far as the finance side of things, whether they're going to go through a lender or if they're going to be paying cash, just freeing up those funds. Reason being is I always find the bank-owned inventory comes out a little bit more readily available for our marketplace around the wintertime. Obviously, time frame wise, statistics show that the spring and summer markets are the best to be listing properties. So when that time frame comes around, they are ready to go and prepared and have their investment either fully rented out if they want to sell it that way, or if it's going to be a flip, they have it fully remodeled and ready to go for the marketplace.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you guys, do you think now is a good time for investors to be out there? Because a lot of the foreclosure properties and the distressed properties, there's not as many on the market right now. And now the home prices are raising. So do you think investors have kind of missed the boat, or is it still a good time because interest rates are low? Or, what are your thoughts on that?
As far as the flipper market, I'd say it's a very niche market right now currently due to the fact that inventory is low. The saturated market we once had with foreclosures and short sales no longer exists, luckily. I will say that those type of deals that I have to find for my clients, they're very, very selective deals that you kind of have to hit it before it hits the market, mm-hmm. or you have to have the inside scoop, which brings an advantage to using a real estate professional. When it comes to the investment side of things, my clients that are right now purchasing more along the lines of renting out units on a consecutive basis, that's a market that really has just taken a toll on the marketplace overall. I think it has become back in popular demand, and it is funding a lot of people for the supplemental income or just to turn it into a full-time income for them.
Mm-hmm. That's very good. Yeah, I still have investors too, who are, not as often because it's really hard to find those great deals that, when you see a bank-owned property, you think, oh, I'll just offer, a certain percentage lower and I'll be able to get it. Well, it's not that easy anymore.
Well, there's a lot of risk at stake. I always find a lot of people just taking that first leap and buying your first property. There's a lot of things that are unknown, obtaining the tenants and making sure that they pay on time, making sure that they do not, distress the property by any means. Those are things that, unfortunately, you're never going to get a guaranteed answer. However, guiding you through the process,